This is In the Deep with Nay. Today we're going to take a look at the nature of the soul and how the Spirit of God has emerged in us. We can, through the word and through truth, we can receive the manifestation and the revelation of God Himself. I walk with God. God is in me. God is near me. God is my protection. God is my security. I can speak with God. I know the direction He has me on. And it's best for you to jump, to come across. It's time for you to cross over. That is why you're watching me. Thank you, God. Carry me forward throughout this word. Today, when I mention how the Spirit of God is in us, this took place because of what happened in the Garden of Eden. Understand that human nature was the spiritual separation between mankind and God Himself. If we take a look back into Genesis, we have to refer back to the word. Once you get this, your life is going to be changed. God created man in His own image, and in the image of God, God created He him, male and female. God created He them, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish, over the sea, and the fowl of the air." That was the instructions by God. But understand that although that was open to us, He had one instruction. Everybody knows this instruction: do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, remember that Eve was formed after that instruction was given. That instruction was actually given to Adam. I'm not sure if they had that conversation. It wasn't had. The serpent ended up tricking Eve into eating the fruit thereof. Well, when that took place, what happened? Wickedness sought the land, ignorance sought the land, enticement of evil sought the land, greed, violence, no remorse was shown, where everyone's liars. The commandment, the seal, everything was broken. Everything broke. And so now we have to align ourselves back to God. And the way we have to align ourselves back to God, I'm afraid is not taught in churches. So we need to bring back the kingdom. Here we go. So I want to explain to you that you're only going to get this understanding if we reference back to the word Matthew chapter 6 verses 22. Let the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, let that whole body shall be filled with light. There's three realms to reality. We have a natural realm, we have hell, and we have heaven. Understand that if you're looking for religion, preaching, or teaching, I'm not into that. I'm not into repeating and repeating, reading again and then repeating, and then just acting out of respect or acting according to the word. Although, yes, but it's more into it. Let thy eye be single. Let that mind be with light. If you're looking for anyone's instructions on how to live your life, this video is not for you. I want to help you build that inner confidence so that pre-existing being can reveal itself unto you. Let's take a look. We have the natural realm, which is the earthly realm. So we have earthly, we have hell, we have heaven. Most have been taught that heaven and hell is a geographical location. Let me explain to you that heaven and hell is two consciousness and two states of frequencies. By the end of this video, you'll be able to understand how. The earthly realm is in accordance to the laws of the universe, materials. You have gravity and thermodynamics, such as nature and the universe, that is separate from you, that is independent from you. So that they say. So the earthly, we have laws of the universe. Remember, the earth was created by God. God is the infinite intelligent. God is the God that knows all. God is the one that created both heaven and man. Earth was created. Pharaoh. This is what is governed by the earth. Materials. Visible to the eye. Then you have, light. To us, the light is sun. All right. Then we have hell. So remember, you've been taught that the earthly realm is separate from you. In this video, you'll be taught that it's not. The next step we have is the physical realm, which is hell for us. Understand that when the land soared through with ignorance, enticement of evil, greed, and violence, we've suffered from that. We have to understand, how was our world built once before? Off of the slaves, off of the beating, off of the backs of oneself, off of taking advantage over one's life. So, and what does our world suffer with today? Murder, rape, manipulation, sex trafficking. We're still at the hands of evil and ignorance. There's children going hungry. Understand that because we have subjected ourselves to the physical realm and we're obeying the physical laws, this is a separate portal, and this will lock your mind in consciously to where you'll suffer in the portal of this, but never experience the portal of heaven. We're going to get to that in just a second, but I want you to understand that this is inferior with the spiritual realm. This is where spiritual warfare comes about. This is temporal. You decide if it's temporal. Either we'll get to that. So you decide if it's temporal by either suicide or changing mind. Understand, you're not going to find this knowledge anywhere. This knowledge was given to me by governed steps by the Lord of God throughout my life. Food insecurity. Climate extremes. Infectious diseases. Physical pain. In this video, you will experience a cognitive distance because I want to highlight the reality of what you have aligned yourselves with when you're only thinking and only operating in one portal. We have portals to travel through. Heaven is the destination. We're going to cover that here. Understand that we were birthed into this, and that when Jesus came, he came, and it's called the Mountain Peak Prophecies. He came as the suffering servant and as the conquering king. Understand that Jesus' name is converted into Yahshua, God that saves all, resurrection. And he came for spiritual and physical deliverance. Spiritual, to that we are of higher connection, of higher elevation, we're higher beings than the physical realm, and deliverance from the physical for what we have to suffer through the wounds that we caused when we ate of the fruit thereof. Adam's energy converted into beings in oneself. We have to now rewrite what occurred. So when I mentioned temporal, and you can choose the temporal you get to experience or have to encounter, because no one stated that this here was a ritual that you have to live and walk in accordance to, and that at the end of this you should reach heaven, which is a frequency ye shall climb. Understand that because your minds have been stressed, you've had lack of food, you've had painful pain, we have physical pain. Sometimes our pain can cause a cognitive a distance between our reality, our present, from into the past. Sometimes we live in the past, sometimes we're still living in the past, because the pain we have to cope with can be hard to burden. How is that? So I started to ask those questions, and I started to want a deeper a meaning to life, and I started to want more, and I had to go back to how it was created. And when you understand how it was created, you understand that because we have a scarcity mindset, increased stress, poor decisions, feelings, inadequacy, hoarding behaviors, overworking in many areas, and we don't have a focus point, our destination of heaven is of a safe destination, of a destination, of a location that we have to experience in the afterlife, which is not. Understand that heaven is tied to an infinite field of possibilities and belief. Okay? Also, it's invisible to the eye. It's eternal, it never dies. Be cautious watching my videos. You're opening yourselves up to all spiritual beings, into spiritual beings in itself, period, in the physical sense. But it's time that we all come to the truth. This truth leads to abundance and wealth. It leads to heaven, the heaven filled with milk and honey. Understand that this was a psychological effect that was supposed to oppose on the brain and change that inner being completely, so that ye can receive what God has for you. This navigates this navigation of instructions and of pure belief. You understand that we do have an option, and we do see two states of belief, and understand that your reality at this time is the mere reflection of what one feels on the inner, and that is what is going to be released on the outer. Let's take a look out of one of the 12 laws of universe, which is law 4, the law of correspondence. As above, so below. The outer world is a mirror to our inner. So understand that I told you that heaven is a consciousness belief system, and that in order to experience heaven, we must change mindset, attitude, belief. And when you're changing your mindset and you're changing your belief, these are not just a wish to transform. This is an everyday and a direct reflection, changing one's patterns, behaviors, thoughts, and reaction to things. Understand that you only need to focus on what you can control, and that the market and that the world, the increased inflation and the increased prices and the economic equality and the innovation of efficiency of products and things that we use targets low-income individuals and fixed incomes to exhaust your resources and unemployment, to keep you in the cognitive thinking and making it hard to plan and focus and solve problems. And it also causes psychological disorders. That I understand. So I need you to understand that This season, we need to recognize the strategy of the enemy and understand that Satan is coming solely for the blood bought, born again. And for the mere fact you're even understanding, watching this, you need to take your purpose more seriousness. You need to identify who you are. You need to understand that to identify who you are, maybe you need to change who you are. Maybe you need to come to a different understanding. But let me help you understand that what you're needing to do. Not only are you needing to fill that body with light and and go back to truth, you need to also understand that the crown of the wise is in their riches, but the foolishness of the fools is folly. It's stated in here that you need to depart from the teachings you've been given, and you need to go into the cities and preach into the cities, and you need to take it up your cross and follow after Christ. Understand that Christ was a mere reflection of what we were supposed to be, of what we were supposed to encounter. It says that this man came down and he saved us from our deliverance of ruins and our spiritual connection back to God. He strengthened that. And through mere belief, you will get the revelation of his manifestation inside of you. It will start to come to you. Understand that the laws of the universe has to be governed by this power also. When you start to walk, this is one sign. When you start to walk with God, the earth will come to you. All you need to do is change thy belief system. I'm going to show you one thing before I tally this. This is how great your God is. I need y'all to look up photon. I need y'all to look up what photon is. Photon, it's creative. It's intelligent. It's invisible. Photon is a light source. This is light. You need to start studying science, and it creates atoms. It's an energy that contains fundamental units of light, containing and contacting the behavior that's observed. In the universe, we have photon floating all around us. You need to understand that this universe is being crafted and shifted by a divine intelligence, that we're not the only ones participating in this realm, in the physical realm. All right? If you're of Christ, receive this message. I ask that you do the studies necessary. This is in the Deep Renee. Thank you.